One of the biggest and most powerful empires the world has ever known is the Mongol one. Genghis Khan, who brought together the nomadic tribes of the Mongol plateau and started a series of conquests that ultimately resulted in the formation of the greatest contiguous empire in history, is credited with founding it. In 1162, Genghis Khan was born in what is now Mongolia and became known as the conqueror of the world. The Mongol Empire eventually extended from eastern China and Korea to the Black Sea and Eastern Europe. It was a major cultural and economic force in the world and had a significant impact on many regions. The empire was known for its military prowess and its ability to rapidly expand its territory through a combination of military force and diplomacy. The Mongols were also known for their innovative use of cavalry, which allowed them to move quickly and strike with surprise. You have probably heard of the great achievements of Genghis Khan while reading a book or watching a movie. But do you know how the great Genghis Khan was personally? What about the hundreds of wives and concubines he had? How were war captives treated under Genghis Khan? Welcome to History Forum, and in this video, we will bring to light the unbearable things Genghis Khan did to his enemies. Some of the pictures might be offensive, so viewers' discretion is advised. He beheaded his enemies for being tall. At a tender age, his father Yesügei was killed by the Tatars, a rival tribe who were fighting for power with the Mongols. According to history, Yesügei came upon a camp on his way from a long journey. It happened that there was a feasting going on, so he joined because he was tasty and hungry. Unfortunately, it was a Tatar camp and they recognized him. They poisoned his drink and he died slowly 3 days later at home. When Genghis Khan turned 20 years old, he decided to take revenge on the tribe that was responsible for the death of his father. Having defeated them, Genghis Khan gave the order to cut off the head of all the Tatars, whose height exceeded the height of the axis of the cartwheel, which was about 90 centimeters. Thus only children under the age of 3 survived. He made a mountain with his victims' bones. Genghis Khan switched his attention to present-day China in 1211 and attacked the Jin Empire. It was an impulsive choice. The Mongols had 1 million people under their authority, whereas the Jin Empire had 53 million. Yet Genghis Khan triumphed. The Mongols arrived at Tsung within 3 years, now Beijing. The city's perimeter was surrounded by walls that were 12 meters, 39 feet, high and spanned 29 kilometers, 18 miles. They didn't attempt to enter because it appeared impossible. Tsung was instead wiped out by the Mongols. By the summer of 1215, cannibalism was rife within its gates due to the population's extreme hunger. When they finally capitulated, the Mongols destroyed and razed the city. It was a horrible bloodbath. An eyewitness who was passing by months later reported that the bones of the slaughtered formed white mountains and that the soil was still greasy with human fat. He turned female captives into sex slaves. After every victory in battle, Genghis Khan and the Mongol armies typically divided the spoils of war among themselves. This system was based on the concept of Minghan, which referred to a unit of 1,000 soldiers. The highest-ranking officers received the largest shares. The spoils included captured weapons, horses, and other military equipment, as well as valuable goods such as gold, silver, and jewelry. Among the largest spoils were women, who were taken and distributed among the officials. After Genghis Khan conquered his enemy, the women were taken as war captives. If the queen or princess was beautiful, he would add her to his many wives. The women were subjected to sexual violence and raped by the army officials. Out of fear of losing their lives, the women had to give in. To be beautiful in that period carried it advantages. The women who were considered beautiful were rounded up and lined before Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan would choose the ones he thought were beautiful and make them either his wives or concubines. For the women who were unlucky not to have been chosen were turned into sex slaves to satisfy the undying pleasures of the army officials. Genghis Khan got his sons-in-law killed. In the past, marriage was more like a strategic alliance to consolidate power than just the union of two people. Genghis Khan took advantage of this and wed his daughters to his supporters in order to enhance his position and grow his empire. The son-in-law had a number of responsibilities, even though marrying the Khan's daughters put them in the good graces of the merciless Mongol and had its benefits. First of all, they were forbidden from divorcing their previous wives and from ever marrying another woman. This was done to appease the Khan and guarantee that the ally throne would pass exclusively to his descendants. The Mongolian army's front lines were then assigned to the kings. Nearly everyone was killed in battle, and his daughters inherited the thrones. When Genghis Khan passed away, his daughters were in charge of a region spanning from Iran's Caspian Sea to China's Yellow Sea. He killed 1.7 million people for the sake of avenging one person. One of Genghis Khan's daughters cherished her marriage to Takaha. He was the favorite son-in-law of Genghis Khan, who also adored him. His wife demanded retribution after Takaha was murdered by an archer from Nishipa. The soldiers of Genghis Khan assaulted Nishipa and wiped out the whole population. 1,748,000 individuals were killed, according to some estimations. Although some historians dispute that figure, there is no question that his forces massacred everyone they came across. Even pets and animals and pregnant women and children were found and killed. They were then executed by being beheaded and having their skulls piled into pyramids at the behest of Genghis Khan's daughter, who wanted to make sure that no one escaped with just a wound. He nearly wiped out a kingdom from history. Genghis Khan urged the conquered kingdom of Yesügei to provide him men when he attacked Khwarezmia. They declined. When Yesügei attempted to stand up to their oppressor, they swiftly realized their mistake. The army of Mongolia swept through Yesügei, destroying whatever they came across. They killed every member of the community in a methodical manner. By the end, Yesügei was no longer remembered. The only records of their existence came from nearby nations because they had not recorded their own histories. Over 700 years passed before their language was rediscovered. Archaeologists didn't find writing-covered stones until the middle of the 20th century. Every word they had said in the interim was forgotten. During the conflict, Genghis Khan passed away, probably as a result of being thrown from his horse. The Mongolian army nevertheless completed his task. Even after the death of their leader and the capitulation of their foe, they massacred everyone they came across. We hope you enjoyed the tales of Genghis Khan. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for it to grow in order to bring you more hidden histories that are not in books nor taught in schools.